is the best business you can invest into as an OFW? Many Filipinos work very, very hard outside of the Philippines, and they're always thinking what to do with that money because you will eventually come home to the Philippines and you don't want to you want to come home to something great and something that can sustain your life. What's up, everyone? This is Doom Life. This is Gilson Vergara back again with another video, and welcome to Peso Monday. On Mondays we discuss anything about business, especially for people who run businesses in the Philippines or pretty much wherever. I just share my thoughts and opinions on business. If you are new to this channel, please consider subscribing and smashing this like button. It has been proven to lower cholesterol. Anything to relieve stress makes you feel better. Let's just dive right into it. What is the best businesses for OFWs? Generally speaking, the issues that most OFWs face is, what am I going to do with the money, the hard-earned money that I am making in another country? How do I sustain that? Because I don't really want to stay in the other country. I eventually want to go back to the Philippines, right? That's mostly everybody's goal. Some people transition into the countries that they are staying in, but most of the time everybody goes back because Filipinos are so family oriented. They kind of want to go back to their home country, to the home country of the Philippines, or anybody who's in OFW over there. So usually they come into a good degree of money depending on the profession, and they don't want it to waste. They don't. Most Filipinos, including myself, everything is tipid. Everything is thinking about tipid, about saving, and hopefully for you guys out there, investing and not wasting your money. So people make the mistake of, okay, let me just start a sari store, and let me start this business, that business, and then the people that you are entrusting, usually your family, don't manage it. And this is the issue that most OFWs have, as in sayang ang pera, right? The money is sayang because your family is not taking care of it. And that's sad. I've seen it happen many times to even foreigners who send money to the Philippines to start this and that, and things don't work out properly. So what is a business that you can start that can get you to the level of, okay, everything is going well, maybe this is something I can expand upon? To be honest with you, sometimes you can't trust family, and that's sad, but it is what it is, because it's very hard to fire someone you are that connected to, because you still got to see them around Christmas, you still got to see them around holidays, and you still got to deal with them. So that's why it's very hard to deal with that in that way, right? So that's the first obstacle you got to face. Like, can you go into a business where you can hire people and through the systems that are within that business maintain a great degree of management over them and seeing your numbers day to day, week to week, month to month, year to year? So before even starting or considering any business, answer that one question. Can you metric this business that you want to get into? Even as simple as a sari store. Is there a way for you to really watch what's happening? Do you have a solid internet connection so you can put a CCTV system in there so you can monitor your business 24/7? It's super easy to do that now. Obviously, sometimes electricity, brownouts, and things like that, you got to go through some obstacles, as in having a generator potentially in your property or in your business so it can consistently run, or renting a place that has a generator so you can deal with it in that way. So those are the things that you need to consider. Now let's go into the businesses that I believe you can get into as an OFW that doesn't have that much of a headache, right? I think certain franchises have that accountability that you can invest into. So even like the small kiosk, because one, you have to get it from a distributor. The distributor has a set amount of stock that they're going to give you, and from there you can see how fast or slow this particular stock sells. So therefore you can kind of see, oh, is there any shortage? Are there any people stealing? Which means, shortage, any people stealing or things that are missing within the thing. You can literally understand, like, oh, how come last week they sold 100 and this week they sold 50? What happened? Those questions can be asked instead of, let me just buy some rice, let me buy this, let me just do this puhunan and see what happens. That is not the right way to go for me. I need to understand system by system and understand the business's ebbs and flows, the ups and downs of the businesses. That's one thing you really need to understand. Even those kiosk franchises, I would get into it, like Shoma and stuff like that. For me, one of the best businesses as an OFW to invest into is just that, investing, because it's hands off. You literally need to see the business plan, what their plans are. You are not doing the day-to-day. However, you are entrusting people to handle your money. So there's a sense of accountability there. So you can be like, oh, how are my numbers this quarter? Or how is my money moving every month? Or, get into an investment where people can give you a statement every single month, right? Or every quarter, where they can include you in the ebbs and flows of the business, right? So, or certain businesses that are super hands-off, like for me, is lending. Like lending for properties, lending for, small loans and stuff like that. I can monitor that. Like, okay, I gave 1,000 pesos, and 1 month he's going to give me 1,200 pesos. Another set of businesses or investments you can make is in real estate. That's always a go, right? Real estate's always a go. And stocks, mutual funds, something that is conservative, nothing too high risk. Me personally, most of my stocks are in companies that I use, as in like, stuff for the gear and stuff like that. I invest in it because I'm emotionally invested in it. But the conservative side of me invest in ETFs. Right here, this is what ETFs mean. I don't know what it is in the Philippines, but definitely check into something a bit more conservative that grows over time. That's definitely something I'm investing into all the time. For OFWs, I don't really suggest you get into a business where you need to watch it day to day, because you're going to drive yourself crazy. Because one, you're working in another country that might have different time zones. That's one. Two, you don't really see what's really happening day to day, because it's a day-to-day business, like a restaurant, like a food industry business, or something where registers, cash is being traded every single day. That might drive you crazy. So understand that if you have the time to allot for it, to spend time in that particular business where you need to monitor things day to day, then go right ahead. But if you do not have the time, don't even get involved in it. Don't even think about it. Don't even look at it. If it's a business where you can be like, okay, I'm gonna give 10,000 on January, and February, March, April, I should be getting 20% of my return, or 10 to 20% of my return back, then that's accountable. You can literally metric that, like, okay, where's my return in the next 3 or 4 months? Very simple, right? So those are the type of businesses I suggest you get into, because the number one thing you don't want to get into is spend 100,000 for a business and you don't have the right people to run it. You just have your family to run it that don't have the skills to understand the business and the fortitude or the mindset for the business. So you're going to run into problems from Jump Street. That's my opinion on that. So any business that I get into is always more investments. Like, okay, I give you X amount of money. How much am I going to get back, and when am I going to get it back? That's pretty much it. But I'm very hard to give money away to even family members to do certain businesses, especially if I have to worry about it day to day, because it's too much of a headache. Literally, it is too much of a headache. It's hard enough already to run a business day to day in the respective country, let alone me being 12 hours away, like in New York. Can you imagine? And I do it now. I'm watching. I have managers that maintain certain businesses for me. I'm not actually doing the day-to-day operations anymore. I'm just watching the numbers and making sure they stay consistent. That's all I am. That's all I do at this point in time. So maybe that is something you should consider. Sit back, understand what to do with this money and where to put this money. But your main focus should be, rather starting a business and worrying about it every day, it should be rather, where can I put this money for it to grow? By the time I go back into the Philippines, hopefully sooner than later, I'm going to have something that's consistently growing. And wherever I started, I'm going to end up better. That's pretty much it. That's my opinion on businesses for OFWs, because it's just hard to let loose of this money, this hard-earned money. You might be a caretaker. I've done that before. Like, you know, caretaker, watching people, you know, cleaning and wiping people, and just picking up older people, moving them from room to room, just spending time with them, feeding them. It's not fun. Obviously, you're gonna have a sense of connection to your patient, but it's not fun at all because it's really taxing to the body. You know, you get your own pains because sometimes you're lifting and you have to literally lift them. So it's hard-earned money, and most Filipinos in the Philippines, they don't understand that this money that OFWs are making, it's not being picked up from the street. It's not that easy. You're making good money, right? You're making great money compared to what you would be making in the Philippines. However, you got to spend and you got to put in the time to get this money, right? That's number one. Number two, where you're staying, especially for me here in New York, everything costs a lot of money. Like, on top of that, the biggest thing that most Filipinos in the Philippines, local Filipinos, don't understand, the taxes are crazy. Especially here in New York, taxes are crazy. I'm paying, as a regular worker, not a business person, I'm paying a little bit over 30%. I am netting 30% less of what I'm really making, which sucks. But this is the position I'm in, and I'm working hard to get out of it so I can really kind of control that situation going forward. Definitely speaking, as an OFW, me personally, I would focus more on businesses that I can invest into, right? That I can metric and literally understand month to month what's coming in and what's coming out. Those are my tips as to what to do with your money as an OFW. It is your money. I understand this. And at the end of the day, you're responsible for your money. If it grows super high, amazing. If it goes super low, I hope you get it back up again. So thank you for watching. If this video gave you any type of value, I really appreciate it. I'll put the email right here. If you guys are interested in sitting down one-to-one through Zoom or Skype or Facebook, understanding what you need to do, if you want my tips, advice, opinions, or whatever, what you want to do going forward, understanding and aligning yourself, your life, your work, and stuff like that, I do one-on-one coaching. I am offering 3 free 20-minute sessions with you guys. Only 3 because I have other clients that I'm dealing with all the time. And we'll just feel each other out. If you like how I flow and this and that, you can come aboard as a client. If not, it was great to meet you. I really appreciate it. So once again, this is the email if you want to hit me up. Thank you. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and thank you and take care. Bye.